welcome back. Konnichiwa. Herzlich willkommen. So guys, update here on ticker NIO, trading on the New York Stock Exchange. I have here some very exciting information. I think guys, we could see here a massive short squeeze for NIO. I made some research here in the background. I want to, of course, share here the chart patterns with you. Nothing changed here based on my previous videos, but I think we have here now two significant price ranges where the squeeze could happen. This is my opinion based on the chart, not a financial advice, but if you know my channel guys, I always try to predict here short squeezes, and I have been very successful on that in the past. So that's why I share my knowledge here with you on ticker NIO. Yo guys, when we see here the chart from NIO, it looks very interesting because we had the so-called IPO here back in 2018, and I made some research for you guys. We had here our all-time low at $1.19 back in 2019, and based on my research, which is hopefully right, we had a float from a little bit more than 1 billion shares, or in German eine Milliarde. So we had almost 1 billion shares available here. The public tradable float was around 1 billion shares here in 2019, and even we had 1 billion shares afloat, which is a crazy float. You can see that NIO squeezed here from $1.19 all the way up guys to 66, almost $67. This is absolute crazy. And the good news is guys, and I want to start with this first before we check here the drawings and all the price levels, that now the official public tradable float, as at least what Findle is showing me here, you can see they're hiding some numbers. I don't know why we have no reported numbers here since August for NIO, but based on Findle, the public tradable float should be around 1.3 billion shares, so it could be more than that, but that is not that much higher than compared to 2019. Of course, it's a little bit of dilution. We can see that they start to dilute here a little bit, but based on the previous years, it is not the case that NIO seemed to dilute the stock here heavily. And that's also one of the reasons that we have here a market capital of 8.45 billion. So when we combine this, the actual price, and divide this by 8.4 billion, that it could be around 2 billion shares float. But as I said, I have no official numbers here for that, or 1.5 billion. Yeah, you can do your own math on that. But this is a very good and important information. Also, when I see here the volume profile, and we just use here TradingView to just really simple check the volume profile, you can also see that the float is not heavily increasing. It was a little bit lower here, but when we compare the lowest volume spots that we have, it's more or less almost identical. So usually when a company is diluting, then you see here increasement of the volume. I don't talk about the volume spikes when we have here some squeezes. I talk about an increasement of the volume, but after the big squeeze in 2021 was over here, we can see that the float is more or less the same. So this is a very important information, because when NIO has been able to squeeze from $1.19 to $66, and we have all these open price gaps here guys, every green level, what you see here in the chart, every green line is an open gap to the upside, and it is very possible that we can start a recovery here, something like a bullish reversal, because overall, believe it or not, we are still in a bull trend. The all-time low was $1.19. Now we're trading here at $4.48. It is still in a bullish trend. It is somehow not really comparable with Gamestop, but the way how the stock could react could be the same like Gamestop. Normal people or most of people don't want to hear that, but that is a very interesting technical setup what we have here, and I will share that with you right now guys. So before we dive in here into the technicals, I said that I always try to predict short squeezes here on my channel. This week guys, I predicted 2 short squeezes. So on Sunday, I release always here my so-called hot stock videos. This is my personal finest selection of short squeeze stocks, which I present here every Sunday. And when you see these hot stock videos, that means that the tickers which I present here can have very high squeeze potential to squeeze in the very few next days. You can see some here of the member reactions guys. And last week I predicted 2 squeezes here. So from 3 tickers, 2 tickers squeezed, 1 ticker squeezed here more than 109% one day after my hot stock release, and the second ticker here squeezed 242% 2 days after my hot stock release. So you can see this is not a coincidence. it is very possible to predict short squeezes. This is what I also do here now for NIO, guys. But if you cannot wait, because something has to happen here in my opinion, if you cannot wait, guys, and if you want to trade some short squeeze stocks, there is of course no guarantee, but if you want to see those tickers, guys, you can join in here our trading community. The most popular membership which I have is the full package membership here on Patreon. Every day new members joining in, guys. You can see all the member benefits here which you get on Patreon, and if you want to also join in, you can click here on the info icon in the corner, then you get access to the Patreon member link, guys. So okay, now I show you the drawings, and nothing changed compared to my last video, but we have something like an, let's call it wedge pattern, guys. Yeah, we have this trend channel pattern. We know that NIO is now correcting here in this trend channel pattern, but compared to the all-time low here in 2019, we are still in an open uptrend, guys, or in an uptrend which has some squeeze potential. The liquidity zone, which I showed you in my previous videos, didn't change, guys. Yeah, the actual support price level here for the market makers is this green box. So I think every price here between $4.40 and $3.28 is in favor for a squeeze, especially $3.73. I mentioned that in my previous videos that I want to see the price coming down to $3.73, and what we can see that when we zoom out here and just focus on the top line of this trend channel here, I marked it here again with the fat white trend channel line, then you can see that we have not that much room to go anymore. So latest here in March, this is over. Of course, we can come even further more down, but here, somewhere in the first or second quarter in the next year, latest, guys, there could be a massive squeeze for NIO. Of course, it can happen every time before that, but I think that we can see here something in the, maybe in the next 5 to 6 months, we could see here a massive squeeze for NIO. And the only question is, this is not financial advice, but the only question is when to buy in, right? When is the best timing to buy in here to get the squeeze? In my opinion, the bottom price for this is right now here somewhere, as I said, $3.73, but there is a chance that we come back even more down. And I personally, this is not because I'm bearish, I just want, there is a sentence which I always use, no drama, no squeeze, guys. So when the market makers don't get their lowest possible prices, you usually don't see any squeezes. That's why you have always very, very strong sell-off reactions like that before a pump can come in. Technical sell-off reaction pump. You can see it is possible that the bottom is already in, that this is here the support, but is the pain big enough, guys? I don't know. And based on the open gaps which we still have to the downside, you can see technically, I don't want to scare you, and please listen what I say here. Technically, it is even possible to come back to $1.55 because we have an open gap here at $1.55. It was the same for AMC and all the other stocks as well, guys, closing these gaps before they continue to rip. And that can happen as well. But I think based on the time and based on the wedge pattern which I identified here in the chart, I think, guys, that the landing zone for the short sellers is here between $2.66 and $2.56. This blue box here is my personal landing zone, what I would love to see, because that would perfectly play out with the wedge pattern here. There is a wedge pattern which we can draw in the chart maybe in the next video, but there is something that we have here that I think that also just makes sense, since we retested now twice this bottom here. The good thing is that we squeezed a little bit higher after we tested $3.73 here once. We tested it twice, we squeezed higher, but we could not break out of this trend channel here. Sorry for all the lines, guys, but it is very simple. This chart is not difficult to read here. And this top level here, guys, is still controlling the squeeze. So before we don't leave this trend line here, this white trend line, we cannot talk about a short squeeze for NIO. And when I combine all these signals, the open gaps, the drama, the price action, the open gaps to the downside, the wedge pattern, the trend line, then it is very possible that when we hit this price level here, that we squeeze out of this trend channel, and then, guys, honestly, everything to the upside is possible. But as soon as we break $7.84 and $10.70, there is a very, very big squeeze possible for NIO. This is not to hype you up. This is what the chart is telling us. So the only question is the market, still in favor for squeezes right now? Yes, guys, but the market is also overheated. NIO could not participate from that. We had a lot of squeezes here in May 2024, and NIO just had the small pump. That's why I think personally, NIO NIO is not ready yet. Yeah, when we also combine here or compare the volume profile, I don't see any big volume candles here, green volume candles. Yeah, massive green volume candles like that are still not visible here in the chart. That means the bullish market makers, there is not enough pain yet. They want to see more pain, more downside before they buy in heavily here to pump the stock up one more time. You can see here was one of these very big volume spikes in the beginning, and then here you can see here, especially here, the volume kicked in, very big green volume spikes. Yeah, one more retracement here, and then the big squeeze started, and this is not happening yet right now, guys. We have here still more bigger red candles than green candles. I still missing here one big candle spike for NIO, guys, and that's why I think somewhere here between $3.40, $2.56, this range here, guys, could trigger a squeeze. Even there is a chance that we come lower technically because we have to close that gap, but in my opinion it is like the same like GameStop. GameStop also squeezed in May immediately after I said the price prediction that was on the dot, guys, and I think that will be the same here for NIO. There is a chance that the bottom is in. If we see a bull market here next year, guys, that we don't see a pullback, then it is possible that we already start to squeeze here in the next weeks. But in my opinion, the market needs to pull back one more time. NIO has to come down a little bit lower, and then the big pockets buying in, and then we can see here a massive squeeze for NIO if they don't dilute the stock. This is very important. When they dilute the stock, guys, then of course it's a completely different story. That's why we have to track the float. Unfortunately not available here in Fintel right now. Guys, if you want to copy here the price levels for NIO, this is here everything based on TradingView. What you see here, I use that chart program for all my videos and all my own trades since many years, and I highly recommend that. If you want to learn trading, there is no way around that. You get a good chart program, and that's why I recommend TradingView. For now, you have here a once in a year opportunity to save 70%. So we have here Cyber Monday discount right now. When you click here also the info icon in the corner, then you get access to my special Cyber Monday TradingView Premium discount link, and you save 70% and you get 1 month for free. So this is just $16.69 per month, guys. I mean, it is not possible to get it cheaper than that, guys. Yeah. Okay, my friends, that was the update here on NIO. I hope that was helpful for you. Yeah, let's see if I'm right with my prediction. Of course, I hope for everybody that we just start to squeeze here. But keep in mind, as long as we're trading here below this white trend line, we will not see a short squeeze for NIO. This is my opinion based on the chart. Okay, my friends, if you like this content here, if you don't want to miss any updates, please hit the like and subscribe button right now. I wish you a great start in the new week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and see you in the next video. Arigatou gozaimasu. Vielen Dank. Alles Gute und bis zum nächsten Video. Take care. Bye bye, guys.